what I noticed is that, like, you guys are extremely intelligent. You guys are extremely aware.
Yeah.
How, is that just one of the characteristics that you need to be a comedian?
I think so. That and fearlessness.
Speak well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems that way.
I think mentally, to be a great comedian, you got to be quicker than most mentally. Because especially when you're on that stage and a moment happens where someone says something, you have to be able to, you know what I mean, handle that.
Right.
So, yeah, man. I tell people like this too. I use this football analogy. Like when I first started stand-up, I was so scared of doing crowd work. I just want to stick to my script, stick to my material. But then, you learn from watching the greats, and two of the greatest crowd workers were Joe Torre and D.L. Hewley. Them motherfuckers Ginsu knife your ass up in a heartbeat.
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you something funny Joe once said. But I said to myself, and again, if you like Michael Jordan or an Eddie Murphy, you know that what makes them great is there's not one facet to their game. They can do everything.
Right.
And I went, how you call yourself a great comedian and not be able to do crowd work?
There you go.
So I started dipping my toes in them waters, and the more and more comfortable I got, and I don't want to be braggadocious, but
it's a part of your
I'm nice
show
with
now.
that crowd work
no,
shit.
It's part of your show now.
I'm saying that to say, listen, can you be a Hall of Famer, championship quarterback who just stays in the pocket, a la stick to your material?
Right.
Yes, you can. But if you can Michael Vick it and do material in the pocket, but do crowd work on the scramble,
right,
it just makes you that much more deadlier. So that to me was something that I wanted to add to my arsenal, and I'm still trying to improve and get better and better. But I'm like, how do you call yourself an assassin and you can't mentally move when you need to move?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just a sharp tool you should have in your arsenal. Now, here's Joe Torre. Like, I remember I was watching something, and I think Joe had talked about somebody's mother. He said, something your mama. And the dude got mad and got serious and said, hey, man, don't talk about my mother. My mother's dead. Joe took maybe a half a pregnant pause and when I don't give a fuck, I'll dig the dead bitch up and talk about it to her face. That right there is almost a nigga, you about to get shot. I got one thing I do that I call the nuclear button. And I would never say it unless I had to say it.
Right.
And I call it the nuclear button because when you say something like this,
crossing the line.
Not only think you cross the line, but you might have to prepare for a fight. Nigga might be trying to fight you. But here's the thing: when the crowd knows that person deserves it, based on the moment. Mm-hmm. No, there is no crossing the line because the crowd is feeling how you feel, which is, nigga, you deserve that.
Yeah.
You brought that on yourself. Now, if you just say some shit like that to say it, then you come off mean and bully.
Right.
But if the moment is proper, they're with you. I remember I was in Tampa, Florida, and this black dude was with his white chick. And I mean, she was just so drunk and disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And I'm, as a black man, cold, I'm looking at you like black
grab
man.
Her.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And he ain't doing shit. So finally I got fed up and I said, hey, control your bitch, nigga. Bitch, nigga. Now, one, you call this woman a bitch. So there's already him with the pressure of, I got to defend her honor.
Right.
But then to double down on that, you call him a bitch.
Right.
Yo, control your bitch, nigga.
Right.
Bitch, nigga. That's the nuclear button.
How did it go? How did that turn out?
Thank God security was there. But he had to be escorted out.
Have you been in a situation where you were like they literally start running towards the stage?
Oh, dude, of all places, who'd have thought Canada?
Oh, wow.
But I had a white bitch throw a pitcher of beer at me in Canada. Had another white chick in Canada try to rush the stage, and a man stopped her. Had a white dude in Sacramento try to rush the stage. Had a dude in Columbia, South Carolina try to rush the stage. I had a black girl hit me with a Heinz ketchup bottle in the face. In Hartford, Connecticut. Because she wasn't laughing, and she was like kind of mean mugging me. So, we got this thing, and I don't know if this is comedic narcissism or ego, but if I'm performing in front of 300 people and 299 are dying, I'm focused on the one that's not. Like, what am I doing wrong that I can't get you?
Right.
So she was mean mugging me. I kind of fucked with her. At one point, I called her a bitch. And I turned my head to the right, and before I knew it, wow.
Damn.
Shit hit me with a plastic Heinz ketchup bottle. And I was like, oh, shit. So they got her out of there, and then I could feel my face swelling up.
Uh-huh.
I could feel it. And I said to the crowd, hey, yo, my shit swelling up. They was like, yeah. But, you know, I had to go on with the show. So I made some corny little joke, but it was right in the heat of the moment where I said something. I was like, you guys didn't get that? Come on, man. Y'all got to catch up. So, you know, I knew how to take a moment and make it work for me. But, yeah, man, sometimes people feel like if you in comedy and ain't nobody trying to fuck you up, you ain't doing it right. Yeah.
Low key, you lucky it wasn't a glass motherfucking bottle still to catch up. You know what I mean? You was in Connecticut. It could have been one of them old spots with the glass bottle.
In that same club, I had a drunk dude who was with his chick, and they were both drunk. And they were thrown out. But a black lady told me, she was like, yo, dude pulled it out a knife. He was going to try to stab you after the show.
Damn.
That's when you know you're a great comedian. When they want to attack you.
So you get niggas wanting to OJ you.
Here's my question with you. I forgot what the beef was with you and that cat Faison, but he said some shit like, it isn't comedy if you hurt people. And on the flip side, I think you said, it isn't comedy unless somebody wants to hurt you.
Listen,
so speaking on...
I'm a be as mature and as what they call that when you take the higher, I'm going to be a higher road guy. Because I've already gone through this with Faison. I don't know what Faison's beef was. And the crazy thing is, like I said on Vlad, I never had a beef with Faison, ever. Matter of fact, every time I saw him, it was very respectful and cordial. Yo, Faison, what up, dog? Hey, Aries, what up? Boom, and kept it moving. So I don't know what made him feel the need to start talking shit about me. But the thing that bothered me the most was fuck all that other shit is when he goes, yeah, Aries was basically a young kid that came out to L.A., supposed to be the next Eddie Murphy. It didn't pan out for him, and it didn't work out, and all he does is impressions.
That's not true.
Like, and this is, again, where I pride myself. I'm a Jordan fan. I'm an Eddie Murphy fan.
Do it all.
They do it all. So it's like, dude, to just think that if I'm a basketball player, all I can do is dunk? Nigga, you crazy. The crowd work, political humor, you know, singing, rapping, you know, impressions, storytelling. Like, come on, B. Don't do that.
The one thing I will say that every time, you're probably one of the best people, and probably another guy who's the guy who did Elephant in the Room? I can't remember his name.
Patrice O'Neal.
So you really remind me
and
of
that's
Patrice.
A compliment like a motherfucker.
You really, because I've never seen people like Patrice and yourself do tough comedy and make that, like tough situations and make that shit still funny as a motherfucker. Like, you guys were probably the best at it.
Let me tell you something.
Because Patrice did extremely tough material, and you do too.
Listen, Patrice's HBO special, the half hour, I don't know if you ever saw it.
I think it's Elephant in the Room, right?
No, that was his hour special on Comedy Central, but he had an HBO half hour. He did two jokes. One, he was talking about the Mike Tyson rape case with Desiree Washington.
Okay.
And he goes, you know, Mike said some shit in the interview where he said, man, I wish I would have raped that bitch and her mama. He goes, whoa, that is an innocent man.
Absolutely.
For a nigga to say some shit like that. And he goes, and what threw me off was at first she was like, he made me, he forced oral sex. And I was like, damn, he made you suck his dick? That's fucked up.
That's crazy.
But then she goes, no, he ate her pussy. And I go, that's when I knew. Case dismissed. He goes, what rapist tries to make you feel wonderful? Like, shut up, bitch. Nobody hear your screams. Shut up as I pull your hood back to expose your clitoris for maximum stimulation. Help, please. Shut up, bitch. Nobody hear you cry. He goes, you can't even make a rapey face eating pussy. So it was that bit, and he did another bit where he said, ladies, let me ask you a question. Let's say you got in a terrible train accident, and the doctor said, you've been in a terrible train accident, we got to remove your pussy. What do you do past the 2-month mark for your man not to leave you, for you to keep him if you ain't got no pussy? And it was quiet. And then he goes, you yell out. Lady yelled out, mouth. He said, okay, blowjob. Anal. Okay, asshole. Jerk him off. Okay, this. He goes, now you see what just happened? I gave all y'all the opportunity to better yourselves, and you just reduced yourself to a series of holes. Nobody said play pool, learn how to play Xbox, bring another bitch with a pussy into the relationship. So to your point, when people go, yo, greatest comedian, I go, when I talk about my Mount Rushmore, I don't say, listen, the Mount Olympus, the gods,
right?
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox. But if we're gonna keep it to the Mount Rushmore, I go Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, Tommy Davidson, and Bill Burr.
Wow, nobody mentions Tommy Davidson. But Tommy was fucking funny as hell.
Tommy's an animal.
Does he still do? Well, I know he had a drug situation.
Yeah, right? He did. But what I, the funny thing is, when I worked with him at the Improv, one night he's about to go up, and I mean he's just in the hallway pacing like a lion. And then when I've worked with him on the road, same thing. For somebody that have been around and been in the game that long with that type of still hunger and ferociousness in his eye, that's
he's
crazy.
Hilarious.
That's crazy.
Tommy Davison's a beast.
To quote, Dave Chappelle, Patrice O'Neal, George Carlin, when it comes to pushing the envelope, three of the greatest comedic quotes I've ever heard. Dave Chappelle goes, you don't know where the line is in comedy until you cross it.
Right.
And then Carlin goes, you should know where the line is in comedy and deliberately cross it. And then Patrice goes, good comedy leaves the audience 50% laughing, the other 50% horrified. that to me is, I live by that credo. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So I'm sure you met Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
How did that go? Because we always try to get a great Dave Chappelle's moment.
My favorite moment actually is in my phone. I was performing in, I don't know if it was Dayton. And I think Dave lives somewhere in the Ohio area, not too far from there. And I was performing and manager said, yo, Dave on his way up. Okay. So Dave comes up. He has like this bottle of, I don't know if it was wine or some sort of drink in a specific case. And, it had a little weed and shit. Right. So at first, he comes up. I'm like, yo, Dave, man, can I get a picture with you? He's like, man, I don't really feel like taking pictures tonight. And I was like, whatever, nigga. I don't do a great Dave. I'm just kind of. So it was like, all right, cool. But then the night went on. He got loose. He eventually said to me, hey, man, I just want to say the impressions you do, man. When I heard you do so-and-so, shit's amazing, nigga. So then by that time, I said, let me retest the waters. Dave, let's do it, man. And me and him took a picture together, and it was like, oh, my God, nigga. And I remember I posted that pic, and, people was like, two goats. And listen, man, out of as a New Yorker, as an Aries, as an alpha male, I'm as confident as they come. But I also get scared of being overly confident because that's when God shows you his sense of humor. Yeah. So as many people that'll come up to me on the streets and will say to me in social media, yo, you a GOAT. Yo, you a legend. And I hear them two things on. I'll never take the reins on that. I'll never say that's what I am. If you want to say that and you want to claim that, go ahead. But the fact that you got Dave, who clearly is a GOAT, in a picture with me, and people are saying that, that's a prideful moment for me, man.
There's a top 50 comedy team. You're not on it?
Oh, absolutely, I'm on it. Nigga, I'm in the starting five.
Starting five? Okay.
If you put a dream team together, I'm in the starting five. Come on, man.